place to start. I was just sitting here thinking, now, I've had this idea for the James Bond franchise for quite some time. What should they do with the James Bond franchise? And I've said this before, but I'm going to focus in on one thing, right? They should do several things. They should have James Bond movies, right? A James Bond movie, I think they're too long between them now, right? They're trying to emulate like the Mission Impossibles, and that's a mistake. And Mission Impossibles had a quicker turnaround, right, as well. Shame that last one wasn't very good, right? But I think there should be 3 years, right? 3 years between them. And that's about the amount of time you want people to work on them as well. Because the thing about James Bond, while it's great, it also needs to be somewhat disposable, right? I mean, that was what was great about 2000 AD when I was a kid, right? It was, now I kept them all, right? And then I replaced them with like reprints, but I kept them all in like little bags, the comic bags, but they were on like self-destructing paper. They were garbage, right? They were garbage art for low-tier art for kids. And boy, were they awesome, right? Were they absolutely fantastic? But yeah, right? So James Bond's kind of the same thing. It needs to be in that kind, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I think they're lavishing it a bit too much. Although I've enjoyed the some of the lavishing, right? Well, I like a good lavish. Oh, she cried. But okay, firstly, right? I would introduce a black spy and a woman spy in the next James Bond movie, like making a new like people. I mean, maybe I'd introduce both of them. And then with spin-offs in mind, right? I would have their spin-off ready in production as the first movie is released, right? Just keeps going. So you get like, I mean, you franchise build essentially. What they would do? Imagine what they did with Marvel, but if it was good, right? So you would have like the James Bond movie, then you have the black guy movie, and then you have the woman movie, right? And then you can really like keep it on a constant turnaround that way. I think that's probably the way to go, because I think Idris Elba. I don't really see him as James Bond. I mean, other than being black, right? Now, why do I think a black person can be Bond? Well, because he's from like an ancient English aristocracy, which are exclusively white, right? It's one thing reinventing history, right, and inserting lots of black people in it. I'm actually fine with that. The traditional view of Jesus is blonde hair and blue eyed, right? No, I mean, I doubt it, right? He's more like swarthy Klingon, probably, right? But the traditional view of Jesus, right, is the idealized European idea of beauty, right? So, which I guess came from the Middle Ages, right? Anyway, very angelic. Being English as well, oftentimes you'll see like historical dramas with Americans or with American accents, like, come here, kamikaze. And so you get used to it. Like, okay, so actually, I was interested though. There was a show I loved. Oh, still breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. Raised by Wolves. Oh my God, I love that show. It was awesome, right? They did 2 seasons. So clever, right? Just so clever. But you had like these 2 characters in it that were androids, and one of them was played by, I can't remember his name, a black guy. Anyway, so he was in Napoleon. I recently saw the director's cut. Very good. Well worth $9.99 to subscribe to Apple Plus for the month to watch it. Like, really, really good. All right. That was one of Ridley Scott's best movies. Like, it's really up there with Gladiator. It's a really good movie. Anyway, they had a few of these black generals in there in revolutionary France. I was like, really? Well, whatever. Okay. And one was played by the black guy who played the robot in Raised by Wolves. Oh God, I love that show. Anyway, so I looked up. Oh no, they were okay. He was right about that. I was quite surprised. Right, there were black generals in revolutionary France. Who knew? Okay. And again, I looked it up because I recognize the actor from Raised by Wolves. That's the only reason it really went down. That's the only way I could find out the name of his character, because I could look up Raised by Wolves, and I looked on his IMDb and I saw Napoleon and I saw his character, right? And that way I could go to Wikipedia And yeah, it was a black guy. Anyway, so that's like the main franchise. I would also do like TV stuff. I would have like whoever the crew is, right? The Money Penny M crew. And I'm happy that the one they had was very good. I like what's the name is Money Penny, right? I thought she was excellent, the black woman, right? And I like Judi Dench, but I liked her being replaced by Ralph Fiennes. Like that all really worked. You could continue that quite happily, to my mind, right? But I would do it like a TV universe stuff about that crew, right? What's the name? Tennant. I remember that they had a different crew when it was Pierce Brosnan, right? You had Colin Salmon and this other bloke, a white bloke, and Judi Dench. What's he doing? His job. That's the beginning of Tomorrow Never Dies. Or is it? Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies, right? Where he rescues Pierce Brosnan. I love him when he rescues. He's at a weapons fair, right? So, and he sees this nuclear weapons on one of the fighter jets. So he then stills the fight. I mean, it's such a cool sequence. Oh man, it's such a cool sequence. Like he fights his way to a fighter jet, stills it, right, and takes off. Just because he has to do it because they wouldn't listen to Bond, right? It said, "Tell your man he's only got 2 minutes to get out now," something like that. But what? He can't go. So, Colin Salmon background. No, James, you have to go. So there's a cruise missile coming in, right, and he sees this nuclear weapons that the cruise missile will then set off, right? So that's that's the setup. So then this is his second one, I think, right? It was really good. It's like there's like a mercenary Russian soldier, and he lights his cigarette with a Zippo. And does you? And he smacks him, stills the gun. I mean, it's a great sequence, right? It is just a great sequence, and stills the plane. But then the bad guy, the bad guy gets away, but another bad guy stills gets in another jet. Right, and then chases Bond, right, and nearly killed, as I remember. Great opening sequence, right? How do we get onto that? Oh, right. The secondary crew, right? The M, the Q. Yeah. So I would, and also like, with that last movie, if they stripped out the whole relationship with his ex and the villain, right? That and put it into its own like mini series or movie for streaming, that would have been much stronger because it would have made the movie bounce along better. The reason the movie was disjointed was because it was designed for was it Lashana Lynch to take over and have a gun barrel sequence of her at the end, right? That I completely believe that, right? And I'm sure it's in a vault somewhere. Right? I completely believe that was the plan. But she was reasonably shit. However, what's her name? One of the only hot women alive right now. Oh, I don't know. In the last few years. Oh, what's her bloody name? James Bond. I'm gonna look her up. She was in Blade Runner 2049. Really, just give me the cast. Goodness sake. Fine, now I've got to click on Wikipedia. Star. Wait, is this Blade Runner or is this Blade? No, I want the sequel. No, not this one. Wait. There you go, this one. No, now I'm on Wikipedia. I should be here. 1 second. Anna de Armas. Oh, Anna de Armas, who is just awesome. Oh, my God. Anna Armas is a woman who just likes being sexy, right? So she was in that last one. She was very good, as I recall. How are we talking about Anna de Armas? Can't remember. So anyway, you strip out all the kind of boring, and like his love of his life is boring as hell. That's really the problem with her. Madeline Crooks, whatever her name is, just a boring. Like there's no chemistry and a boring woman. Right, let me see if I can find the name of the actress. Man, she's not even on the There's got to be here somewhere. Oh no, I'm not. I'm in the wrong thing. Hang on. I'm in Blade Runner. No Time to Die. No Time to Die. Die. Yeah, that one. No, I could go for the 1992 movie, Columbo movie, No Time to Die. I wonder what that's like, right? Madeline, right? God, that boring, played by Lisa Du, just has no charisma. Zeroes in. Naomi Harris is Moneypenny. I liked her a lot, right? Anyway, the secondary crew, right? The secondary, they do some TV stuff with them. Another TV project, which will be a TV movies of a direct adaptation set in the 50s and 60s, right? Again, very TV. Now, here's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Finally got to it. Another strand of movies with an old James Bond. Like, what happens when he gets old, right? So, again, Pierce Brosnan. I mean, he's got to play this, right? He's totally got to play that. So I just had a flash of what this movie could be. And for some reason, I had the idea of calling it Property of a Lady? But then I thought, that's a James Bond book, isn't it? One of the non-Fleming ones. I said, no, that was actually, it turns out, the unmade third Timothy Dalton movie. So, yeah, I would totally steal that name, right? So it'll be Property of a Lady. Maybe I'll call this the series In Service to No One, right? Because that's where he is right now. So you can have a kick-ass opening scene where, like, in some, like, Banana Republic, people are revolting, right? And inside, like, the dictator's castle, they're getting them and their family to the dictator and his family to safety. And there's a Bond right in the middle of it as a security consultant, right? So you have this like great action sequence at the beginning. You know, I'm not sure what would you do for a gun barrel sequence? You couldn't do a gun barrel sequence for this, right? It would have to be something of its own. Well, I wonder what that would be. Maybe. Oh, you know what it could be? It starts off literally looking down a gun barrel for something. You pull out, maybe it's Bond cleaning his Beretta or whatever. Not Beretta. Walther PPK. So something like that, right? And that'd be a cool inversion of it. Anyway, so you have this kick-ass scene where he's like fighting through like these revolutionary crowds that want to kill everybody to get this family to safety. And then just in the end, before they get in the helicopters, the wife and daughter shuts the door on her husband, the dictator, so the rabid crowds can get him. And Bond's like, and she's like, come with us. And they go off in the helicopter. And then as an act of mercy, as the crowd breaks in and they're about to tear him apart, Bond shoots him from the helicopter in the head, giving a quick death, right? Title sequence. Whatever. I don't know, whatever. Because it'll be different, right? But again, Silver Fox, Pierce Brosnan doing it. I love this movie, right? So then I think maybe he gets like a mysterious invitation to a masquerade or something like that. Or there's some kind of card game, right? He goes, so you get the very suave Bondy stuff again with him being a silver fox, which again I just love this. And that's when he meets the Bond girl, right, the protagonist, and she needs his help for some reason. And I think, the more you can connect it to his past, maybe the more interesting it might be. Like her daughter's been kidnapped. Right, or somebody's been kidnapped and they want him to go and rescue them, or something's been stolen and they need to get it back. But like, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you met like Robbie Coltrane's character's kid, right? Who's also like a big, like his daughter, who's a big, fat, burly woman, very much like Robbie Coltrane, right? And plays it like the spitting image of Robbie Coltrane. That would be hilarious, right? And that would also really work, right? To get Bond to help the woman, right? She gives her an envelope and it's from M, right? His old M, female M, Judi Dench, and say we must help this. For some reason, he's like, well, of course, because it's M. I just think that would be an awesome movie strand. And then in a few years, when Pierce gets over it, right? Maybe you can do one with Timothy Dalton as well. Right, that'll be wild. Maybe you could alternate. But then when in 10 years or 10, 15 years, you can get what's the name to do him? Craig, right? It's like another thing in the future. There's more work they have in the future from it, right? I do think that's what I would really love. So that's what I would do with the James Bond franchise. Cubby or what's his name? Broccoli Wilson, right? Wilson, call me in, baby. I'm here to help, right? I am here to help. But when you cast a white male Bond that looks like James Bond, you to avoid getting the shit, you also need to announce your black spy protagonist. And again, I mean, like, not just being black, I just don't see Iris Elba doing that. He doesn't strike me as he can do the posh very well, right? He's more like he's good at Luther, right? There was a good scene in the Luther movie at which he loved doing. Oh my god, where he uses a riot to break out of jail, right? And he's just like smacking people in the face. He's loving every fucking second of that role. I do like Luther, right? I really do. I mean, I love that. If you ever see that, they're always creepy, right? They're always very disturbingly creepy in different ways. But Idris Elba is great. But I just don't see that as being James Bond, right? I think James Bond needs to be a bit smoother than that. I mean, that's really and also white, and a hot spy. I mean, Anna de Armas would be great. Billy Gibson, right? I bet she could do a great spy thing. I found more of her in the same costume with we did a interview with her when she was in it was for Elle, and she was in this costume, and oh my god, here, let me pull up. She looked hot. Oh my god, it was. I mean, she always does, but here it is. Doink.
Ever had a costume mishap?
I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, she is. I mean, we're going to be looking at this now. She looks gorgeous. What is it? Let me pull out a bit. I mean, she looks even hotter once I pull out. It's not my fault. She's ridiculously fucking hot. What do you don't get on my case about it. She is ridiculously hot. And she just is. Oy vey. I'm sorry. It's weird if you're not turned on, right? I mean, not if you're straight. If you're gay, it's not weird, right? But if you're straight, I mean, like anybody who likes weird, if you're not turned on now, there's something wrong with you. She's insanely hot. I mean, look at her. That's crazy. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.